So I was having this conversation with my goddaughter. She's 11, she's in the 6th grade, and she was telling me about a school dance that she had gone to a couple days prior. And so she's scrolling through her pictures, and she's looking through them, and she's showing me. And I said, "Oh, you went to the dance with your friends?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Oh, did you guys have a great time?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Did you do a little dancing?" She goes, "Yeah." And then I said, "Did you guys hit the whoa?" Now, for those of you who don't know what the whoa is a dance that all the kids are doing these days. It goes something like this. I'm not a dancer, don't judge me. But she then turned to me and she said, "How do you know that?" As if I had uncovered some deep, dark middle school secret that no adult is supposed to know. And so I turned to her and I said, "First of all, child, I am in these social media streets." Now, she does know what I do for a living. And second of all, I watch TikTok videos. Now, if you don't know what TikTok is, it's a kind of new social media platform. You can upload up to 60 seconds of video on it. All the kids are on it these days. So the next question you might have is, okay, Tracy, if TikTok is for kids, then why are you on it? And I'll get to that in just a second. Today, I want to take a deeper dive into digital leadership. But before I do that, I want to give you a little bit of a background of how I got my start in the digital space. I started off my digital career as a YouTube beauty and lifestyle vlogger. My very first video was of me sitting on my bathroom floor. I had stacked up like all my books because I didn't have a tripod back then, and I put my little digital camera on it. I had bangs, don't ask, and the lighting was terrible. But I made this video, and it is something that can change a girl's life. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. My first video was about a flat iron. And I always say that that is the video that changed my whole life, not because it went viral, or not because flat irons are all that life-changing, but it's because it opened my eyes to see a whole new world, and that's the digital one. And I don't think any of us can deny that social media, digital technology, and the online space has changed our lives. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to give you some statistics right now. As it stands, 4.4 million people are watching YouTube videos. There are 2.2 million snaps being snapped on Snapchat. 1.2 million people are logging into Facebook. 350,000 or so people are scrolling on Instagram, and roughly 87,000 people are tweeting on Twitter. And all of that happened in about 60 seconds. Or the time that it took for me to give you those statistics. So that is pretty staggering. I think we can all say people are in this digital world. That's where they're getting an education, that's where they're finding the love of their life, that's where they're ordering food, and it's where they're participating on social media. We are a social society. Now, I have been on social media for the better part of 15 years or so, and I'm starting to notice a trend. 15 years ago or so, when Facebook first came out, everyone said, "Oh, Facebook, I'll never have a Facebook profile. That's just for kids, that's for college students." 2010, Instagram comes out. People say the same thing, "Instagram, that's for kids, I'll never be on Instagram." But now I bet if I polled the audience and I asked you, how many of you have at least one Facebook profile or one Instagram page, who's going to raise their hand? A lot of people. So this is what happens. What once was for kids can be something that we all participate in as grown-ups. So why am I on TikTok? For that very reason. That, my friends, is digital leadership. It's part of understanding the landscape of the online world and of social media and seeing what trends are happening and then how we can leverage them. Now, what I do for a living is I help people understand how to show up as leaders in the online space. Could TikTok be the next thing? We don't know. Now, John Maxwell said that leadership is influence. My question is influence leadership? Because when I was a YouTube vlogger, and I still am, to a degree sometimes, when I was a YouTube vlogger, people were talking about makeup, and we're talking about cameras, and they're talking about the different kinds of cars that you should buy. And companies started noticing this, because they said, "Oh my goodness, if we give that girl our flat iron and she talks about it, our sales go up." If that boy over there talks about this video game, more people are logging into it. That's something that we need to pay attention to. And so a term was coined called an online influencer. But like I said, is all online influence leadership? That's the question that we're going to try to answer today, because people are in a space where they need more help making decisions. We are constantly being inundated with information and data on a very regular basis. Studies have shown that our brains process 400 million bytes of information per second. A study done by the University of California, San Diego, said that people, or Americans, we take in about 34 gigabytes of information and data every single day. That is a lot. A supercomputer couldn't handle that in a week's time. And yet here we are as people taking all that stuff in. We look up, we see billboards, we look down, we see our smartphones, and I don't know about you, but at any given moment, I have like 8 tabs open in my browser. Right, so information overload is something that we experience on a very regular basis. And because of this, people are starting to move into a space called decision fatigue, where we're just tired of making decisions. We want other people to help make those decisions for us. So this is one of the reasons why I think the influencer wave was so popular. I don't have to go to the store and test out or try out or research every single flat iron. I can go to Google and I can type in what hair type I have, what color my hair is, how long my hair is, and I can find the best flat iron for me based solely on influencers that were talking about it. I could do it for cameras, I can do it for cars. But the problem is that while there are so many people in digital space, and while there are hundreds of thousands of self-proclaimed influencers, I just don't think that there are enough leaders per capita to match. And I think that influencers should be across every single industry. We need leaders that are talking about stuff online and on social media, in government, in civil infrastructure, in healthcare, in social services. Leaders need to be present, and there are so many people, some of you are in this room, who need to start showing up in the online space more. And I know that it's new, and I know that it's not something that we're comfortable with because we're so used to using Facebook to talk to our old high school classmates or Instagram to share pictures of our new puppy that we don't think about how we can start to influence as a leader. If you are a leader offline, let's start to move that online. And so I'm going to give you 3 ways to really get started with this so that you don't walk away going, we talked about leadership, but I have no idea how to get that done. So number 1, we have to stop looking at social media like it is the big bad, because it's not. It's technology that we can use to further our message. We can share things, we can talk about things that are important to us, we can make people aware of causes that matter. That's what leadership looks like in the online space. And part of that is your responsibility. And yeah, we can look at social media and we can say, but there's so many bad things that are happening. Yes, there are. Can you contribute to the conversation of the good stuff? Number 2 is I want you to just show up, be visible. And maybe Facebook is not the platform for you. Maybe it's not YouTube. Maybe it's LinkedIn or maybe it's TikTok. Who knows? But just pick a platform and start to be a leader there because your voice is needed. And lastly, I will say share. Share your ideas, share your thoughts, share what you're passionate about, share your organizational mission, share your personal vision. Share, 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 because more good thought is needed in the online space. So leadership is influence. But we have to use that as we see fit, and we have to use that according to what we have. And if you are a leader, and some of you are, and you feel the pull to really start to make a much greater contribution, it's time to claim that. Maybe it's time for you to go digital. Maybe it's time for you to go social and to take your leadership ability with you. Thank you for listening.